Bluesfantv, back here with Chichi.
Back again.
I was hoping, honestly, we all predicted that we're going to win the game today. I think this was the first time that we all predicted that we're going to be winning this game. But unfortunately, we got hammered. Not 1-0, not 2-0, 3-1. And the goal came even in the last 9 minutes. What do you make out of this performance today?
That's shambles. Imagine Nottingham Forrest resting 6 of their main players. The likes of Gibbs were out. Like all those starters were not playing. And today, we fumbled. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I was hoping that maybe Chelsea will capitalize because they are resting players for the Europa League. But we were shocked. We were all shocked today. Yeah, it's unheard of, to be honest. You know, conceding in 2 minutes, and next thing we are conceding a penalty, and next thing we are 3 goals down at home. It never used to happen. It never used to happen that small teams like Nottingham Forest will come in our backyard and be comfortable in beating or scoring 3 pastas. It never used to happen. Yeah.
I do agree with you. You know, we've been Chelsea, we've experienced Chelsea of going 10, 15 games with a win. And now it looks like the opposite side, Chelsea is losing 6 games in a row, conceding useless goals, and you know, we're just going back as a football club. Let's talk about individual performance, because honestly, it was a mixed feelings for me because Rosinho was sacked. We were all here shouting Rosinho get sacked. We went to Wembley, win 1-0, and we come back here to show one of the most terrible performance. The play, I don't know.
We beat Leeds, and players get off days, and the next thing they come and play the worst match I've ever watched. It's one thing losing matches to a good opponent, but it's one thing not trying. I didn't see anyone trying. Other than Enzo Fernandez, I don't see any proactive player in that squad. I can't even begin to talk about Cole Palmer by now. And if I'm telling you, if England are picking players on merit, I don't think Cole Palmer will be going for World Cup. Everyone was disappointing today. The same applies to Cucurella. He's an amateur left back. You know, thank God we finally scored our first goal. You know, after 51 days. Actually, our first goal, isn't it after 8 games? Yeah, and it's embarrassing. Now we are going back as a club. Why? We used to go back to back. There was a time when we had a run of nearly 4 years without being beaten at home. The worst could have been a draw. But now, look at us, back-to-back defeat, like big margin defeats at home in our backyard. All small things, comfortable to beat us. Everton beat us 3-0. Brighton beat us 3-0. Nottingham Forest coming at home to beat us, to score past 3 goals. You know, past us. So, you know, there's something wrong with us. Up until now, I'm realizing that Maresca was not the problem. Pochettino was not the problem. I'm telling you, even Rosinho was not a problem. Because look at the performance of the players and the quality of players that we have. Who is the problem? The new owners. They see this, and the next thing will be another version of Tottenham being battered everywhere they go, home and away. Small teams coming and playing party games in our backyard. I also don't see anything. I also don't see anything changing at the moment. It's going to be like that for some time. Considering what we have signed 9-year contracts with our players, and they are still the same players. You know, I don't think any manager, like I said, Maresca was not a problem, Pochettino was not a problem, Rosinho was not a problem. And now we have an interim coach. That's not his fault. Guess what? Even if you bring a big coach back to Stamford Bridge, he will struggle with this kind of ownership. Even if you bring a reputable big coach or someone with a traceable record in coaching, trust me, they'll fail at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And one thing that I'm really concerned about is I can't believe that a team that is going into the final to play against Man City in 12-13 days is having sort of performance at home. What's our fate going into this game?
One thing I need to really acknowledge or highlight about Chelsea, one thing about them when it comes to cup games, they're a totally different team. But this year, the energy and the vibe is totally different. You know, we are going into a final with Manchester City. We have beaten them before, but this is a totally different Manchester City. In terms of quality, I don't think any of our players match. Probably with the only fit is a B team in that squad. So I don't want to talk down about my club. We've always had this underdog tag when we are going to the final. Remember with Barcelona, the other time Bayern Munich, PSG last year, and we triumphed. So the same with Manchester City in 2021. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because this is about a cup. Anything can happen on a cup final. Yeah, so I wouldn't think they would go with the same attitude. But what's disappointing is what they are displaying at the moment when it comes to the Premier League. And trust me, we are going to finish even outside. We are not going to qualify even for Conference League. At this point, I don't think we will be even be in the top 10. We should be worried for relegation by now.
Yeah, thank you very much.